Nekojima. This may be the most difficult, the most thought-provoking, and the most fun dexterity game I have ever played since Crokinole. Am I positioned like this for a reason? Yeah, because I feel like if I'm going to breathe wrong, this thing is going to fall down. Are those cats hanging from strings? Yeah, let's talk about this dexterity game. Now, without me knocking things over here a second, what are you actually doing in this game? The concept is relatively simple. All you have are these little poles with a string attached to them. Different colors means different lengths. Different size poles on each side. All you have to do is stack it on top. You'll see from the overhead view, there are 4 different colored areas that you're going to be placing them into. Now, the tricky part is you may place in one area to another, or 2 in the same area. That's it. Let me tell you why this thing is freaking fantastic. And my family and I and my kids and the game group can't get enough of it. Can't believe that freaking just happened. I moved the chair. The cat fell from the top rope and landed on the bottom rope there. I don't know if you can see the cat right down here. Yeah, that just happened. So what you're doing in this game, right? The setup is relatively simple. You have 2 dice, each with 6 different sides. 4 of the different colors that you saw from the overhead. 1, choose anything. And then 1 little dagger, which means somebody else sitting next to you gets to choose it, right? All you do is you roll those dice. Okay, I got red, red. Now, here's the tricky part. Red, red just means the area that I have to touch. So I have to have 2 poles, both my poles sitting in the red area. Now, here comes the fun part. Then you pull a cube from the die. I got a white cube, which means I have to look for the rope that has a white one of these. Now, the tricky part is all of the white ones have different size wooden pieces. And so I have to make this fit in this red area. I can place it on top of ones that are already there, or I can place it just down on the bottom. But the tricky part is the ropes can't touch. They can't touch each other. They can't touch the ground. They're your electrical wires. And so that's the tricky part, right? Do I have one that is going to reach all the way down to the ground that I can also place on top of that big one? Or do I have a rope that's not going to sag in between and be able to fit in there? So let's try this out here. As I screw this up, you can watch with me. So I'm doing this in one take here. You can see that this red one, this white one is just, if I spin it right there, just long enough to maybe fit. And I can get it just close enough so it's not going to fit on the other one. My hands are trembling with this. There we go. So I just did it. That's freaking amazing, right? Now the tricky part is, and you're wondering, well, the cats come in. So in this bag, there are a bunch of cubes, right? Each corresponding to red, white, or blue, the cords that are along this. Well, there are also black cubes. And if you pull a black cube first, that means you have to grab one of these cats that are hooked here that you can see, and you have to put it on the line. Now, you probably can't tell right now, but the cats I have very selectively placed, well, one fell, but this one over here is very selectively placed at the end of the wire. Okay, so let's say I pull another one. Let's roll this, do another example real quick. Red and purple. Well, that sounds awful. Red and purple. Red and purple, red and purple, red and purple. And so let's say I pull a black cube, and then let's say I pull, well, another black cube. Let's say I pull a white cube. So I have another white one that I have to get. Well, I'm running out of white. So red and purple, this is going to be really interesting. So you can see how hard this is going to get, right? About, oh, can't go up to here. Now I could try this one. Maybe if we move it around. So there we go, right? But now I have to figure out how I'm gonna hook one of these little cats on there. Hard to see from the straight on view here, but this loop is actually coming towards this camera. So from the overhead view, you can see how far that's out. So if I put one in the center here, it's gonna cause this whole thing just to collapse towards the center. So how am I gonna put this? Frankly speaking, I don't think I'm gonna be able to put this one, and you're gonna watch me collapse this live in the video. But I'm gonna try and put it towards the end here. And there you go. That's the gist of this game. And let me be very clear. This thing is teeter-tottering on all edges at all times. It's very difficult. Like sort of a reverse Jenga, but boy howdy, is cool. So I just literally grazed the table on my way back here because I realized the lighting was all wrong in this video. But the key point being I grazed, just very grazed the table, and you can see the whole thing wobble and shake. This is a great game. This is a fantastic dexterity game. I cannot tell you how awesome I like this. Now you can see also we have this little level tracker, and you can see how high you can get up, essentially, how many of these cubes you can fill in. I didn't keep it up here. It would be probably full of level 2 and going into level 3. But that's the basic gist of the game. You can play competitive, you can play cooperative. There's a couple variants where you can say, okay, you can't have these towers more than 2 high, like one stacked on top of each other. You also have a variant where you can't have more than 2 individual towers in each of the 4 quadrants. That's it. These cats are so difficult to balance. I cannot tell you how many times I have knocked them over, or my kids knocked them over with just placing the cat on there ever so gently. Also, the rotation that I cannot show you enough with this, you know, in terms of how it is and how you can rotate it in that sense, how that affects when you're putting it on there, not only when you're putting it on there, but how they're going to have tension on the rope or no tension, or how it's going to be able to hold the cat or not. It's just so freaking simple. It's one of those games, why didn't you think of it? Well, you didn't, but it's just so good. We played it, and it takes like anywhere from like 2 minutes to 10 minutes at most. It falls down, and then you just say, wow, I want to go try that again. Wow, I can't wait to play this again. Wow, I can't get enough of this. And that was my 9-year-old's quote, right? The kid who's addicted to Minecraft, the kid who's addicted to Pokemon, and he's like, I want to play this 5 times in a row. This is probably one of the most fun games I have had in maybe the last year. Just from a sheer, this is fun. It's just easy to explain, to do, but hard to actually do well. Let me be very clear. This camera setup right now that I did for this is probably one of the best ones that I've ever done. Just to put that in perspective, right? Of how high this is. I literally have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stack in this red area. I don't think I've ever had a 5 stack before, folks. And let me be very clear. Unfriendly Games, this is coming to crowdfunding soon. Check this one out. If the price point is good, this is probably one of the best dexterity games you'll ever play. I don't put that out there lightly. You know, I love me some Crokinole. I love me some Clask. Tumbling dice is okay. This is probably the best thing that you could say, okay, hey, you guys know Jenga? Yeah, this is like Jenga, only 1,000 times better and more difficult, right? That's awesome. I cannot get enough of this game. I mean, the only caution I would say is some of these cats are obviously a little bit more lopsided and unbalanced. And so, you know, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I know they went with a little bit of a different design on each one of them to give it sort of a different value, but it also makes them a little bit more unbalanced. So it's a little bit trickier in that way. And just, tension of the ropes and that sort of thing is, you know, something that is outside of my design aspect or scope. But if they can do a smash up job at production, yeah, this is fantastic. This is absolutely, utterly fantastic. I cannot tell you how engaging this game was for us from a fun factor. And let me be very clear, like, this looks like it's very easy to do, but these ropes right here are just barely missing touching each other. This cat down here at the bottom that's hanging on by a thread is just barely off of the ground and just barely missing the blue wire. It's just a factor of millimeters sometimes in this game. I could literally blow this over with a breath. That's the tension you want to cut with a knife, but also the replayability that it's not Jenga where it takes also the setup and the teardown to, you know, be able to play it again, right? Nekojima, check this one out. It's freaking awesome. Thanks for sending me the prototype copy. Stay classy. Have a great day.